guys, welcome to my channel and to my journey in beauty, where every video is an adventure in makeup, beauty, and YouTube, and I'm inviting you to come along with me. Today's adventure is 1 year of Boxycharm, top 3, bottom 3, and a palette. New to my channel, every month I do a top 3, bottom 3, plus a palette for each month, telling you what I've been loving and telling you what I have not been loving. So I thought it would be fun after 1 year of receiving Boxycharm to go ahead and talk about the top 3 products that I received this year, the bottom 3 products I received this year, as well as out of all of the palettes I've received, my very favorite palette from Boxycharm this year. So let's go ahead and get into the bad news. So the first bad news of the year is a product from Pure, and it is the Bronze and Brighten Cheek Palette. I've spoken on this before. You may have seen in my last Boxycharm roundup that I have decided to declutter this Neapolitan ice cream inspired palette. Overall, I'm putting this in the bottom 3 for the year because I think that this is a product that just didn't work for most people. This was never going to work for me. I'm not for sure why I held on to it for so long. But ultimately, I mean, these are super pigmented. I'm going to show you real quick just exactly what these look like. Just a tiny little swipe in there. These are not going to work for most people. Even if you have really, really deep skin, the level of shimmer in these is just insane. It's a very thick, buttery, creamy formula. It's just really hard to work with. Even if you go in lightly, because it's such a creamy formula, it just sticks to the skin and it's hard to blend. And overall, I just thought this was one of the worst products that I received this year. Next is a product that I decluttered almost immediately. I think it ended up going in the trash because I really couldn't even find anyone that wanted to attempt to use this product, which I totally understand. I'm gonna put a picture up on the screen for you so you can see what it looks like, but it is the Bella Pierre Concealer Palette. And it wasn't really concealer as much as it was a color correcting palette. You had the orange, green, and purple shades. But the problem with this palette was, number one, these are not going to be correctors for all skin tones. If you have a lighter skin tone, these are going to be too dark for you. And if you have a darker skin tone, these are going to be too light. But also, overall, the pigment on these, when you would try to maybe cancel out some redness with the green shade or what have you, it blended out into nothing. There wasn't enough pigment there to actually correct any colors. And so, you know, that was a no-go for me. I don't do a lot of color correcting, to be honest, but I also didn't like the formula. It felt very, very greasy and heavy on the skin, almost like a grease makeup that you would buy for Halloween. That's exactly how this product felt. So it was something I was not thrilled to get, and I did declutter it right away. So that's in the bottom 3. And the very last bad news may or may not surprise any of you, and it is the Laura Lee Los Angeles palette. Again, you would have seen this if you watched my Boxycharm roundup for the previous 3 months. I will link that up in the cards in case you missed it. But all controversy with Laura Lee aside, which did definitely run in conjunction with the release of this from Boxycharm, or, you know, when Boxycharm sent it out to us, all of that aside, this palette is absolute garbage. I was really excited when I got it because these colors definitely speak to me. But overall, I felt like each shadow was its own formula. The yellow shade has to be built up quite a bit, as does the orange shade. These are just okay for me, but I felt like when this color right here blended out, it didn't blend true to color. It was a lot darker. This purple was fine. It's the only shimmer shade in the palette, and it performs just okay. Definitely not enough for me to hold on to the palette. And then this pink shade, which would appear to be glittery or shimmery, is in fact a matte pink shadow with glitter in it that blends away completely when you try to blend it on your eyes. I did do 3 looks 1 palette with this, and I'll also link that up in the cards in case you're interested. But for me, this is not only the worst palette of the year, this was the worst product that I received this year. I was definitely disappointed with this, and like I said, it had nothing to do with the Laura Lee controversy. That is the bad news. Overall, I had a harder time picking products that I didn't like from this year of Boxycharm versus products that I did like. So I think that's a really great indication that overall I was really pretty happy with the products that I received from Boxycharm for my first year. So let's go ahead and get into the good news for the year, and we are starting with a product that I think I heard a lot of people really enjoyed, and that is the Beauty Unlashed Volume and Curl Mascara. I really liked this. We received this in July, and it is still going strong here at the beginning of October. I do notice that it's starting to dry out a little, but what I've been doing, the cool thing about this kind of packaging on this mascara is that when I put the wand in there, I can kind of squeeze the packaging and really like load up the wand in here, and then you pull it out and it's, you know, it's not even over gooped with product or anything. I do like this type of natural hair bristle brush, but I also really like that this one has a curve in it. I think that helps to hold the curl in my lashes after I've curled them while I'm applying the mascara. So I really liked this. I absolutely would buy this, probably if more so if it was on sale, because $24 is definitely steep for a mascara, but it's definitely one I would pick up if it went on sale at Sephora or Ulta. And I do highly recommend this one. So that was really good news for me. The next product we received in May, and some of you are going to be like, really? This is a top 3 for you? Yes, it is. This product has become a ride or die brush for me when it's dirty. I don't particularly like using my other options, and I'm always in a hurry for it to get clean and dry and back into my brushes. And it is the P12 face brush from Aesthetica. Now, we did get a trio of like eye doodads, which was horrible and not worth the price. I do believe they quoted this price at $26, and I don't know that I would pay that for it, especially not knowing the brand going into it. But I do love this brush. It is my favorite brush for bronzer. I just really like this tapered shape. I can go in with the tip and have it be a really precision application, or I can lay it on its side because it's cut to a point like that. I can lay it on the side and really, you know, carve out those cheekbones while blending at the same time. So I really, really love this brush. I know a couple of other people, including my girl Angela, also really love this brush, either for bronzer or even for blush. So I do really love that, and I'm so glad that I got it this year. The last top 3 for this first year of Boxycharm is the Laura Geller New York Baked Blush and Brighten in the shade Tropic Hues. We did just receive this in September, so I haven't had it a super long time, but I already know that this is a favorite for me. It is right up there with my Physicians Formula Butter Blush in the shade Vintage Rouge, and I just love this. I love the formula. I love that it is a glowy blush, which you'll be able to see from the swatch here. It looks really healthy and natural on the skin. It is not what I'm wearing today because I didn't think it would go with this eye look that I had planned. I love this, and I can't wait to continue using it. I'm very much interested in looking into other shades. Gonna put them on my wish list at Ulta, and maybe when they go on sale, I will pick up another one. And last, the item that you've all probably been waiting for. I did acquire quite a few palettes this year from Boxycharm. Some have already been decluttered. Some I am still loving, and some I am still trying to make work. But the palette that absolutely stood out to me for this year that I am still reaching for, you know, above and beyond my unboxing, try on, review type situations, is the Alamar Reina del Caribe palette volume 1. It is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I did challenge myself to create a new look that I hadn't created before with this palette, and I think I was able to do that. You will see this look again at some point in a future video. But the shades that I used today, I used this orange all over in my crease, blended it out a little bit with this mustard yellow, tiny bit of the brown on the inner and outer corners just to deepen things up a little bit. Then I went in with this lighter teal shade all over the lid, and I went in with this green, this green shade right here. I'm gonna swatch it for you because it's absolutely bananas how beautiful and buttery this green is. Like, this is all kinds of my jam. But this green I have on the inner 2/3 of the lid and in the inner corner with this, you know, creamy champagne-y shade. So I love this palette. Like I said, I continue to reach for it. I like the simplicity of this. I feel like you could really go with any of these 4 matte shades blown out in the crease, and then take one of these or 2 of these shades and put them on the lid, and you have yourself a really quick and easy eye look. I feel like the mattes are very, very easy to work with. They blend really well, and all of the shimmers perform very well, both wet and dry. They can be used wet. I do tend to use specifically this green shade and this darker teal shade with a setting spray or a glitter glue, because they do have like more particles and more glitters to them than the other shades. But overall, I thought this was a fantastic deal when we got this in Boxycharm. It was a relatively new palette at that time, and it was created by Gabby, who is affiliated with Boxycharm. This is the favorite palette for the year. It was kind of hard to choose because I've gotten a lot of palettes that I really love from Boxycharm, but this one stands out by far because I continue to reach for it. So I thought this would be a fun little way to go ahead and celebrate 1 year of receiving Boxycharm. I have already put up a video called 1 Year of Boxy Lippies, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So go ahead and check that out. I'm gonna link it in the cards for you, where you see what kind of lippies I received in Boxycharm this year and who's gonna be sticking around in my collection into the next year of Boxycharm. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this top 3, bottom 3, plus a palette special 1 year of Boxycharm edition. And I hope all of your makeup days are beautiful makeup days. I will see you in my next video soon. Bye.